क्योंकि ऐसा ना हो कि मेरा रोजगार चल जाए। तो वो एक किताबों से जो लगाव रहा है हमेशा। किताबें झांकती हैं बंद अलमारी की शीशों से, बड़ी हसरत से तकती हैं। किताबें झांकती हैं बंद अलमारी की शीशों से, बड़ी हसरत से तकती हैं। महीनों अब मुलाकातें नहीं होती। जो शामें उनकी सोहबत में कटा करती थी अब अक्सर गुजर जाती हैं कंप्यूटर के पर्दों पर। बड़ी बेचैन रहती हैं किताबें, उन्हें अब नींद में चलने की आदत हो गई है। बड़ी बेचैन रहती हैं किताबें, उन्हें अब नींद में चलने की आदत हो गई है। जो कदरें वो सुनाती थी कि जिनके सेल कभी मरते नहीं थे, जो रिश्ते वो सुनाती थी वो सारे उथड़े उथड़े हैं। कोई सफा पलटता हूं तो एक सिसकी निकलती है, कोई सफा पलटता हूं तो एक सिसकी निकलती है। कई लफ्जों के मानी के पड़े हैं, बिना पत्तों के सूखे क्यों लगते हैं वो सब अल्फाज जिन पर कोई मानी नहीं होते। ज़बान पर जायका आता था जो सफा पलटने का, ये ज़बान पर जायका आता था जो सफा पलटने का, अब उंगली क्लिक करने से बस एक झपकी गुजरती है। मगर वो जो किताबों में मिला करते थे सूखे फूल महके हुए रुके, किताबें मांगने गिरने उठाने के बहाने रिश्ते बनते थे, उनका क्या होगा।
Before I invite our special guest, Mr. J.R. Sufi Saab, I would like to introduce him. Mr. J.R. Sufi Saab was born in downtown Srinagar and studied in Government School, Bori Kadal, joined Amar Singh College, from where he completed his bachelor's degree. He did his master's in political science from Aligarh Muslim University, and Sufi Saab has done his MBA from England. Sufi Saab was selected for IAS and allied services and allotted income tax arena, and he worked as additional commissioner income tax and headed J&K income tax department in turbulent times in the valley. In 2009, he was posted in Jammu as commissioner of income tax appeals and got promotion in January 2010 and became chief information commissioner in 1999 and 2009. I request our guest to present our University Librarian Dr. M. Baba for his welcome address.
Janab J.R. Sufi, ex-Chief Information Commissioner J&K State, all of you. First of all, let me welcome you all on today's World Book and Copyright Day on behalf of Allama Iqbal Library, University of Kashmir. As you are aware that 23rd April is celebrated as World Book and Copyright Day. If we will see, all the communities, all the world, they are aware about they like the books from the ancient times, no doubt. There have been so many developments in the medium of writing from time to time. UNESCO, in order to sensitize the community of the world, in 1995, they decided to celebrate the 23rd April as World Book and Copyright Day. There is also a reason behind it, why we celebrate 23rd April. as World Book and Copyright Day because 23rd April is the either date of death or date of birth of some prominent writers like William Shakespeare. The main objective of this day is to inculcate their reading habits, especially to the younger generations, and also tribute to the world famous books and also to protect the rights of the authors by the enactment of copyright laws. As you are aware that people take reading as to read the traditional printed book, but during these days, due to the developments in IT sector, the definition of reading has been changed. The definition of book has been changed. Reading means whether we read traditional printed book or we may read on the screen. Book is generally taken as a traditional book, printed book. Book can be, this time we have the traditional printed book, we have the e-book or electronic book, we have the digital book. Yes, of course, debate is being done whether electronic book can replace the traditional printed book. There are different opinions, but observation of the people, my observation also, printed word will remain there in whatever format it will be, whether it will be in the printed form or whether it will be in the digital form. Recently, I was reading one article that was electronic books. Interesting findings were there. German people, their traditional printed book. It was of the paper was, do Germans read electronic books? Different findings were there. Yes, we have to keep ourselves up to date about the IT development also. I remember, but one threat is there, the speed at which the IT develops. I remember we have been the books now more than 500 years. But you see there, when I remember the structure of floppy I handled in 1994, during these 22 years, how much development, so many developments have taken place. I remember the floppy we were handling in 1994. There are many challenges also in the development of IC sector. About the, no doubt, there is a treasure of knowledge. We have open access repositories. We believe during these days that we must not have the restrictions on the spirit, in the spirit of the knowledge or in the spirit of the information. We have to take care of also copyright laws or intellectual property rights, and under that comes the creation of the authors. Also there is a great debate going on. Copyright laws in presently we face the challenges during these IT days. So many challenges to the head of the organizations, challenges to the authors, challenges to their publishers. Some believe, I was discussing a few days back with my colleagues, we subscribe their databases, so much amount we pay. There are Sci-Hub. You see, Sci-Hub to be based on the under rules, under law, under copyright laws. These are the challenges. Head of the organization, cut and paste, and we have given the new name now, reviewing and the development of reading culture in J&K state. So many steps, especially from the school level. Let there be a library, especially in the J&K state public library system. If you will see in the development, if you will take the example of British Council Division, if you will see the American centers in the, we have to give the emphasis, especially in the J&K state, in most of the states of library system, especially in the southern states and in West Bengal. We have to take also a lead in this regard so that we can create the, we say, it is a saying that readers or children, they have to head the organizations. They have to act as the leaders. They have to, I would also like to advise to the younger generation, most of the younger generation is present today here. I have take the best advantage of them. Don't go out of the track. Go there, you have the classical books, you have the so much literature available on the your mobiles, your iPhones. You can go through, but try to have utilize your time in a positive way. Yes, of course, I don't want to take much of time because today's function, we have, let me tell you that frequently use first, second and third prize, and 3-4 days, it is not the, let me tell colleagues, officers, we were searching the function of the libraries is also in the present day of the IT. Yes, of course, we have the electronic resources. I was telling with my, or to my using electronic resources, whether in the library or at their, maybe loopholes in their software. Other in the next session, inshallah, we will also award the users of the session, and after that, at one we have community about the famous books and famous authors rewarded. Thank you very much.
Now I request guest lecturer on the occasion. Please welcome Mr. J.R. Sufi sir.
नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिहिल करीम रब्बि शहर मोहतरम BC TV Center. As Dr. Baba has rightly said, it is an event which has been designated by UNESCO, one of the leading organs of United Nations, to celebrate the day and dedicate it to the reading of the books. Why? Because probably a feeling had been there that the habit of reading books is receding, and the students, research scholars are resorting to a very easy method of cutting and adjusting the pages in the appropriate places without understanding the real depth and meaning between the lines. Alhamdulillah, like me, most of us belong and profess a religion, that is Islam, which nowadays, unfortunately, or because of misdeeds of ourselves, is under attack from all sides. One of the criticism is that they don't study, they are not in tune with the latest developments, latest trends in science, education, etc. But most of the people forget that its message starts with a verse, Iqra bi ismi rabbikal ladzi khalaq. Read. It's a command to my prophet, your prophet, by Allah, to read. And he exclaimed, what should I read? Because I am not read. He is commanded, read in the name of Allah, who has created you. Because nothing can move. We cannot discuss anything unless we start from the creation of the God. The best creation is you and me, human beings, which in Quranic term is Ashraful Makhluqat, the best creature among the creatures. And this best creature is endowed with the gift of reading, with the gift of then understanding. Those scholars say that even the animal world has a sense of understanding certain things, but it cannot express. You and me as human beings have the ability not only to read, but to express what we are reading. If there cannot be book, we cannot read. Prophets were endowed with revelation. But then what was the later on process of putting that revelation in the form of what we nowadays have, Quran, Bible, or for that matter even Vedic Muqaddas? Because my religion says that God has sent prophets and messengers to all countries, to all humanity. Some are described in our Quran, some are not, but that doesn't mean the humankind belonging to anywhere, whether India or African countries or anywhere, they were deprived of this gift of revelation. The importance of the book, Prophet, immediately when Quran was revealed to him, he realized the importance of noting it down. And there are numerous hadiths, there are numerous references in Islamic literature how Prophet arranged for putting down what was revealed. If you couldn't find the present day book form, he could order his companions to write it down on some parchments. Similar other ways of the noting down. The book is nothing but putting things on record so that it can be communicated from generations to generations. That is the importance of the book. I was recently reading one of the recent tafsirs which has been made in the United States by a group of editors. And editors are all some publisher, because we have a publisher friend also here. He approached one Professor Nasser, who is studying in and teaching in the United States, that kindly arrange a tafsir, modern tafsir in English of Quran. First he hesitated, but later on he told him that it would need a group of editors who will help me to produce what I think the best English tafsir, translation along with tafsir. The publisher told him that, okay, I will provide you a team of best Arabic and English knowing editors. But he made an important condition that I will not accept any director on this board who does not believe in this message as being the message of God. Because there are numerous translations and tafsirs by various non-Muslim brothers. But the fact is that most of them didn't have the belief that it is a message of God. This condition was very important, because unless you believe in this authenticacy of a document, your genuineness in interpreting it may be doubted, may be questioned. The publisher was so eager to have such a translation, such a tafsir, he agreed to the idea, and Dr. Nasser selected American-born Muslims who had converted, or rather got converted themselves from Christianity and various other religious beliefs. And he has quoted a hadith which of course is in other tafsirs also, that keeping in view the importance of the book and reference and reading the other comparative religions, Prophet told one of his Sahabi, Zaid bin Sabit, that you learn Ibrani. Because Ibrani, the language spoken by Jews, was very important for Prophet, because they became the first accepting these non-believers. You had a competition with the people of the book who were raising certain questions, and he made his companion to learn. And it is reported that within 6 months, Zaid bin Sabit proved his mettle and he mastered the Ibrani language. Why this is interesting? Because somewhere in very unauthentic literature I am reading nowadays somewhere, we should not read anything except Quran. Yes, Quran is a fundamental for me, but this is Prophet's sunnah to read books not only of our religion but other religions. Then there have been numerous instances how the early Islam people searched the books about various aspects of human life. This was the importance of reading and writing in this religion which we profess, but which we have now confined only to mankabats and zikrs and nothing else. You cannot be competitive in this world unless you have a fairly good idea of other civilizations, other discoveries, the advancement in art and literature, science and technology, because this is the age of technology and science. How can you succeed if you don't have an access to those sources of knowledge? You cannot have access to those sources of knowledge only sitting on computer for half an hour or 1 hour and then say that I have mastered the subject. No. The book used to be a companion. It used to clear you and give you redundance from what we call nowadays boredom, that I am alone. This world of technology, when we don't have time, people don't have time to talk to me, to discuss things with me. Book is the source and company for me, to give me company and to make me comprehend this huge universe which has been created by God which is as Quran number of times compares the world and the cosmic phenomena, ayats. Generally, a person with little understanding like me can say that ayat is only a verse. No, in Quranic term, ayat means this comprehension. He is giving you various designs, various samples to comprehend, to apply your mind. And for applying the mind, the root is the book and no other source. But now, is the book only an entertainment? Because certain people say that it is just to avail time and kill the boredom. No. We must try to really understand it as in the language of Allama Iqbal. हमें तो इसमें गोता लगाना चाहिए, डूबते रहना चाहिए किताब में, because he said that ये तो बहुत आसान है कि किरमी किताबी बन, आपको तो साहिबी किताब बनना चाहिए. The book day, I think message is only to be sahibi kitab and not kirmi kitab. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your valuable insights and highlighting the importance of reading. A book, library automation, especially in university libraries, has been authored by one of the dynamic officials of Allama Iqbal Library, Dr. Hilal Ahmed, and co-authors at Department of Library and Information Science, Aligarh Muslim University. The book has been used the book, and I also request Dr. Hilal Ahmed and Director MSNE. Every year, Allama Iqbal Library awards most frequent users of Read and Lead, and this year too we have kept prizes to 3 most frequent users of the library. Appreciation to these 3 frequent users of the library who topped the list of Mr. Muhammad Rafiq Nauroz, Department of Political Science, who has issued 54 books to his account. Mr. Muhammad Irfan Ahmed Waghe, Department of Kashmir, who has issued 60 books to his account. The first frequent user who topped the list has topped the list. The most frequent user of the session 2015-16. Changes in its administrative and academic setup. Hon'ble Vice Chancellor, University is heading towards achieving new heights. Research and extension activities and facilitate academic freedom is the belief and motive of Professor Khurshid Iqbal Andrabi sir, Honorable Vice Chancellor, University of Kashmir, chief guest on the occasion. Ladies and gentlemen, kindly welcome
Qureshi Saab, Mr. Saxena, my dear colleagues, other guests of eminence, research scholars, students, ladies and gentlemen. I am delighted to be here this morning to celebrate the World Book Day or the World Copyright Day. Before I make a comment or two, I would like to make a confession that I am not a very ardent fan of celebration of these days, as if we were to remember ethics only on this particular day. And that perhaps is true because these celebration of these days is a tradition of the West. They have a Mother's Day because they don't get time to see their mothers for 364 days. And one of those days they see their mothers and celebrate it as Mother's Day. And similarly, Father's Day. These are very bad traditions, and I personally do not approve of those traditions. It was theoretically enshrined in our belief, as many of the predecessors spoke, that we were supposed to have these ethics in our hearts from the day we were born. I also am not in agreement with some of the comments made here, as if the transition of a classical book that was written on a piece of paper and had a very hard jacket, its transition into an electronic format had done dramatic events. We keep on justifying general comments without any reason and logic. We talked about Gulzar making comments about how books were very good and now how laptops are bad. I wish he made a comment about how black and white movies were very good and how color movies are bad. These are only, talks and nothing really rational about it. There is absolutely no reason why we would not have much more comfort in getting the best out of a book, be it in electronic format or be it in paper-backed format. The bottom line is the content. The bottom line is the content and nothing more than the content. And if it makes me comfortable to go through a book on a screen, I would rather be reasonably comfortable to go through a book on a screen. It also gives me advantage of maybe not using a spectacle because you can enhance the image and make the best use of a book. And then I am not really inclined to believe that this transition is bad. Much like the same way as we evolved. If I were to picture this audience 50 years before, everybody would be wearing a turban and perhaps wearing a paran and a chadar over it. So if that is not bad, that is a part of our growing up. The use of mobile phones and use of electronic gadgetry to read a book should not be bad at all. But at the same time, as I said, that these celebratory ventures of having a day dedicated for ethics is perhaps what is not really worth appreciation, because as Sufi Saab said that as Muslims we were supposed to have certain ethics. Unfortunate part is that we now borrow these ethics from the West. The worst thing is that even saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah is also now Anglican. We use this in a very, the dialect is such that it appears more English than it is Arabic. Least realizing that the Hebrew tradition of shalom still exists in US exactly in the same way as Hebrew dialect does. It is a reflection of our, what we call, inferiority complex. These day celebrations is also a reflection of that. Arabic is to be read in Arabic and Hebrew is to be read in Hebrew. They have not changed the Hebrew dialect into English to convert it into, they still say shalom. At the end of the day, we are afraid of saying salam alaikum also. And we don't use Arabic words such that they become part of our English vocabulary also, as has now of late been happening, that even words from Hindi have started coming up in as, alternative for certain words in English. We use Pandits, now word, as a part of English vocabulary. But we have failed ourselves because we somehow do not know who we are and not contributed to the world literature in this way. That means we have failed to dominate in areas where we were supposed to dominate. We have only gone into things that evolution perhaps brings in a coat on us, evolution brings in a trouser on us, and so many other things. But evolution brings in more understanding of who we are. There we have lagged behind. That's why I said prophetic traditions were that we were supposed to even pass on a message orally not without citing a reference. It used to be a tradition that I heard from Mr. X. He was saying Mr. Vice told him this. So being honest even in communication, let alone being honest in copying certain things from certain people. These were fundamentals of us as Muslims. We have forgotten, and now calling it Copyright Day because it came from West. So that means we do not know who we are. Number one, we have to be proud of who we are. Perhaps we can do more justice to copyright than we do by celebrating these days. Thank you very much, and thank you very much for your patience.
Makadri, Assistant Librarian, Allama Iqbal Library, to extend word of thanks.
Assalamu alaikum and a very good afternoon. It's my privilege to deliver a vote of thanks on the Copyright Day. I, on behalf of all the officers, officials, Sufi, ex-Chief Information Commissioner, J&K, who in a region with his presence. Publishers New Delhi, ending their support in organizing this event. We would also like to acknowledge our gratitude to print and extend my thanks to all the faculty members, students. We are fortunate enough to be backed by a team of workaholic their efforts to make this event a success. Thank you.
We have a rare book exhibition in reference section of Allama Iqbal Library first, then we will proceed with other events. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. उर्दू को तो सख्त आज ही क्या नहीं अगर तुम्हें उर्दू सब्जेक्ट है तो पता नहीं सब्जेक्ट अच्छा तपिश और तपिश पैमा इस्लाम किस इस्लाम से धोखा खा सकती है अल्लाह पेपर में यस मखज़नुल मज़ामीन बाबू चरणजीत लाल
The same was same burger I said
Yes.
Good selection. Just for visuals and
रोजा ये रोज ये मन के ज़हाते रात वाली पता नहीं फ्लॉपी तो 94 में जाके अब इसके बाद क्या 10 इयर्स के बाद क्या होगा या आईटी पर तो कोई भरोसा नहीं है क्या होगा
अच्छा ये just
Ciudad que